Folks, the first thing I want to do and get this out of the way is I'm going to have a giveaway. And what I'm going to be giving away is this beautiful 60T Schrade. It is absolutely gorgeous. So, we'll get right down to it. The giveaway is for anybody that can tell me what this knife is for. I have my suspicions. I've narrowed it down to about 95%. So I will grade this on effort, and if someone nails it dead on. Very interesting. It is labeled Solgen, Germany, Inox Rostfrei, R-O-S-T-F-R-E-I, Inox, I-N-O-X, and Solgen. Probably said that wrong, but it's all right. What does all that stand for? It's basically telling you that it's stainless steel and it's made in Germany. It's got two interesting blades on it, and I'll show you this. And it has not been modified. This is how I received it. It's very interesting. This is what makes knife collecting so much fun. And you might want to watch this video because I'm going to show you how to investigate knives. And maybe this video will help you guys narrow this down. So the video is on this Camillus beautiful knife. I received this as a gift for my retirement from the military from a very good friend, fellow knife collector. I don't have very many of these equal end jackknives. Reason being is they're very expensive, they're very difficult to find, and they happen to be one of my absolute favorite. They are extremely large, usually well over 4 inches long. They're absolutely beautiful, and this particular one was made in the World War II era, before 1945. So how did I come out with all this? I'll show you what this knife looks like, and it's just really nice, really hefty looking knife. So this is a really large knife. It's got a long pole right here, and it's marked Camillus Cutlery Company, Camillus, New York, and that is abbreviated. And I'm going to show you guys how to narrow this down. A lot of knives are not marked with dates down on them, so you have to do a little research to find out exactly when they were manufactured. You will not be able to see this in the video, but there is an etch that used to be on this particular knife, and it's marked Hercules. Alright, so it also has a small pin blade, and that one is also has a tang stamp, and that is important for your investigation on when this knife was made. It has beautiful wood handles, a wonderful looking shield. And I'll show you guys how I investigated this particular knife. The first thing I did is I looked up the tang stamp. And the way I do that is I look up in Goins' Encyclopedia of Cutlery Markings. And if you go to this book right here, it'll show you different tang stamps that the knife has, or Camillus used. And it basically breaks it down by dates. And as you can see, they had all types of markings that they used. Some of them had underlinings, some of them were curved markings, some of them were marked New York, some of them were marked USA only. All right, so you can get the basic idea of when these knives were made. So if you go down in this whole maze of when this knife possibly was made, during the war effort, Camillus did make an awful lot of knives for the United States. Not only that, is they were the only knife company to ever receive an award from the military department on their fantastic service to our country. So if you look down into here, if you look at the one just before it, actually, 1919 to 1941, it was marked on all blades, 4 line markings. Brand may be etched out on the blade also. So if we were really lucky, it would say something like sword brand on the knife, not Hercules, because sword brand would really narrow this down to a knife that was made by Camillus during a certain period. Now if you look at this, it says 1941 to 1946, marked on one blade only. 4 line markings, sword brand, may be stamped on the front of the tang with the 4 line markings on the back of the tang. So now with that in mind, we can actually go from this day to this date. So most likely this knife was made before 1941. Okay, and the reason being is not only is it has a tang stamp on the master blade, but it also has one on the small pin blade. Now we're going to go to our next book, and I have 2 books that I really like, and for when I go camping or I don't really care about thrashing a book, I will read this one, which is an exact copy of this one, which is the Bible of all knife books as far as I'm concerned. With more investigation, knowing what we know from the tang stamps, we'll go right here. All right, Camillus Cutlery Company, Camillus, New York / USA, so it can be marked either way. This was the mark used throughout World War II. Camillus, New York / USA. So basically the only thing that's eliminated is the Cutlery Company. Okay, this was the mark that was used after World War II. Okay, well this knife is marked with the Cutlery Company on it. Okay, so if we come over here, 1902 to present. I don't know why they say present, but so this knife was made during the war effort. Now I like the picture that this particular book used. But we're going to take a look at this one right here, and this one is marked sword brand, and the knife is basically the exact same knife. The only difference is the long pull on the small pin blade. Now if we go to the Levin's guide, they actually show not the long pull, but just the nail nick. Now this one's valued at $200. Are these values accurate? Is this what you would actually sell the knife for? So much goes into what a knife sells for. Real world values go off at eBay generally, but when it comes to knives that are extremely hard to find, a knife like this could pull well over $200, especially a knife that's in this current condition. This knife has some really good walk and talk. It's absolutely beautiful. It's custom quality. All these knives were hand finished. The beefiness of the blades, the blade steel, the quality of this knife is something that you just cannot get these days at all. So these are very good books to utilize when you're looking up your knives and trying to locate dates that they're manufactured, values, etc., etc. These books also will show you different types of markings, different types of blades that were used. But Camillus is one of my all-time favorite knives. And I love how they're manufactured. The beefiness and the feel of this knife is just so fantastic. Let you guys take a really good look at this. I'll show you the small pin blade. And of course, they all have half stops. Half stops were something that most all knives had. Knives were made to use, and the half stop is such a great safety device before locking knives came into effect. Not only that, is a half stop allows you to close your knife with one hand very easily without the fear of it's going to come down on one of your fingers. Now I'll show you the difference. Here is a GEC number 70, and you can see the size difference, even the master blade. And the thickness. Just an absolutely beautiful knife. What makes GEC so popular is the swedges that they put in their knives, the half stops, stuff like that. Even a knife that locks has a half stop. That's how old knives were manufactured, and they don't cut the corners like the new knives do. But with a knife with springs that are this powerful, you really don't need a lock. Just a real hefty, beautiful knife. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Put your submissions down in the comments block. I hope one of you guys pick up this wonderful Schrade knife. I have lots of knives for sale. If you guys are looking to establish a collection, shoot me an email, and I can develop a really nice collection for you. For me, when I first started collecting, I had no idea what direction I wanted to take my collection into, and I wasted a lot of money doing that. So if you guys explain what you guys are interested in, I can really set you up with a nice collection right off the bat for a couple $100. You guys can have something that you're really proud of, and something with really good walk and talk, and you're not going to pick up these knives that have issues that you'll find on eBay or other websites. Okay, you guys take care, and have a nice day.